A Dekalb County woman tells us she is angry and hurt that a police officer was able to plead to lesser charges. She accused the officer of sexually assaulting her. Channel 2's investigative reporter Mark Winnie has been digging into documents and all sides of this story. He joins us now live in Decatur. Mark?
The judge's comments here, remarkable. Now, the alleged victim's lawyer, Chris Stewart, says he sent this letter to Dekalb County authorities to lay the groundwork for a lawsuit. He says she should have gotten justice in criminal court, but there are several sides to this story.
Rape. That's what it is rape.
It's just a miscarriage of justice.
He maintains it was consensual.
He took something from me, and I will never forget it.
His actions were reprehensible.
Your ethical obligation is to seek justice, not seek convictions, not seek approval.
Her lawyer, Chris Stewart, says we can call her Ms. W and call what was supposed to be a night of pre-Christmas frivolity at a restaurant bar in 2015 a nightmare. That she was involved in an altercation, DeKalb police charged no one, but Officer Darren Dye Harrell insisted she get in his police car for a ride home she didn't need.
I was the designated driver for that evening.
Stewart indicated Dye Harrell took Ms. W to a dark park and had sex, that she did not consent but did not say no or resist to survive.
If I would have fought him back, yes, he would have murdered me. He would have took my life, and I got kids.
We took very swift action.
Arrest warrants charged Dye Harrell with aggravated sodomy.
Could that be called a form of sexual assault?
It is, yes.
Kidnapping, false statements and writings, and violation of oath.
His behavior and conduct was criminal.
But later, the indictment in the case listed only 2 charges: making a false statement and violation of oath. No aggravated sodomy or kidnapping counts. Records indicate he pled guilty, and the judge accepted the prosecution's recommendation, which his lawyer says boiled down to 1 year in prison, 4 years probation, a fine, community service, a psychosexual evaluation, and STD test.
It was a fair result.
A travesty.
Given what you started with, this was a remarkable result, was it not?
It was.
His lawyer says Dye Harrell pled guilty to the only crimes he committed, but the judge had serious questions.
She fought for my client.
The court transcript shows Judge Linda Hunter asked, "Why isn't this a rape charge?" The prosecutor replies in part, "Even though we do not believe that we can prove that she consented, at the same time, we do not believe we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the officer knew she was not consenting to it." The judge, "That's up to the jury. He was in a uniform. She was in a police car." The prosecutor indicated the alleged victim tested positive for a significant amount of alcohol and for drugs, a factor he suggested that would go towards her credibility when she would testify in court. That doesn't excuse what happened, he said. Usually, said the judge, if you're vulnerable, it makes you more susceptible to being victimized. The judge said, "It's your case. I don't tell the DA's office how to charge a case." Though later she added, "Honestly, I don't understand why this wasn't indicted as a rape case."
We're not rabid attack dogs that proceed in spite of lack of evidence.
Robert James says as district attorney at the time, he did not handle the case personally, but the prosecutor who did was one of the best on a stellar staff and ethical.
He's a Boy Scout.
The XDA says the prosecutor made the right call since he had doubts about who was telling the truth.
I cry every day about it. I do.
Now, in this handwritten note, Dye Harrell suggests that he chose basically to resign. Now, coming up on Channel 2 Action News at 6, what the current DA says about the situation, how his lawyer says Dye Harrell claimed the alleged victim came on to him, and the dramatic outcry that the designated driver describes soon after the event. Till then, reporting live, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.